Okay, let's get into this. You sent over some source material, and yeah, the topic is mistletoe.
Right. Which, maybe sounds a bit Christmassy at first.
Yeah, not quite the doorway stuff though. This is about its actual role in nature,
Right.
specifically with the Pacific yew tree.
Exactly. And the sources you provided, they take this really interesting turn, even hinting at, like, technology uses.
Yeah, that part definitely caught my eye. So I guess our mission for this deep dive is to sort of pull out the key takeaways from these sources, right? Understand that plant relationship, and yeah, what's the bigger picture, especially that tech angle?
Sounds good. So, first off, the sources are very clear. Mistletoe isn't just, resting on the Pacific yew.
No, it's described explicitly as parasitic. It actually grows on the tree.
Right, using these specialized structures to basically plug into the tree's water and nutrient supply.
So it's actively taking what the tree needs.
Precisely. It's hijacking the yew's resources. And the sources really emphasize this isn't neutral. It might be tolerated sometimes, maybe, but it often has real downsides for the yew.
And the Pacific yew itself. Your notes mentioned it's known for being pretty slow growing, right? Like
Yeah.
those specific damp environments.
It is, and that's a key point the sources seem to imply. Something draining resources from a slow grower.
Yeah, you'd think that would hit harder than on maybe a faster growing tree.
That's the connection, yeah. By constantly pulling out water and nutrients, the mistletoe can weaken the yew, slow its growth even more.
Okay, and here's where your sources get, well, pretty alarming. If there's a lot of mistletoe,
Yeah.
a severe infestation.
Then it gets serious. The sources talk about significant branch dieback.
So parts of the tree actually start dying off.
Correct. And in the really bad cases described, it can kill the entire tree.
Wow. Okay, so that obviously raises the question, what do you do about it? Can you manage it?
The sources tackle that, and they say it's tricky, really challenging.
You'd think just cutting it off would be the answer. Cut the infected branches.
That's the intuitive thing, yeah. But the sources specifically warn against that, actually. They say doing that, trying to remove it, can often harm the Pacific yew even more.
So trying to help could actually kill it.
It's a real risk mentioned in the material. It really stresses you need to be careful.
That is counterintuitive. So the advice is what? Get an expert.
Basically, yes. Assess carefully. The sources strongly recommend consulting, arborists or maybe local extension services, because getting it wrong makes things worse.
Okay, it just shows how complex these natural interactions really are. Not simple at all.
Definitely presents real challenges for managing tree health.
But then, just as we're wrapping our heads around the ecological problem, your sources throw in this curveball, this company, Endodynamic.
Yeah? That detail's right there in your notes.
They're looking at mistletoe for technology.
That's what the sources state. They mention this potential use and even note it's significant for the industry.
Oh, I mean, what could?
Well, the sources don't detail the how, but they flag it. It suggests that maybe the very way mistletoe works, how it taps into resources so efficiently, maybe unique compounds it has, could be valuable somewhere else entirely.
Huh. Okay, so summing up what your sources laid out. Mistletoe, it's a parasite on trees like the Pacific yew.
Yep, takes resources, weakens the tree, can reduce growth.
Can even cause branch dieback or kill the tree in bad infestations.
And managing it is difficult, requires expert help, because trying to remove it can backfire.
But also, this same plant, this parasite, is being looked at by a company, Endodynamic, for tech applications. Something the sources say is significant.
Quite the contrast, isn't it?
It really is. It makes you think, doesn't it? About how these intricate natural relationships, even the ones that seem purely destructive, might hold unexpected value.
Or secrets, yeah. Mechanisms we could potentially learn from or adapt.
Makes you wonder what else is out there, hiding in plain sight, that we haven't quite understood the potential of yet. Something for you to ponder.